Guest in the house. He's gonna special guest host with me today. We got Spud
Yes,
BK,
I'm hanging out
Spud
today.
Brooklyn
I'm
in the
hanging out
house.
today.
What's up, Spud?
It feels good. This is a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. There's a lot going on. I wanted Spud to guest host with me because today might be an intense conversation. You know,
Okay.
all the stuff that's going on.
Yes.
You know, all the young men out there that are getting killed. We will talk about that later. But that's, you know, I need a male perspective on all that's going on. It's
and
crazy.
we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, it's crazy. Again, we have special guest Spud Brooklyn on the Carmen B show. Spud Brooklyn is multi-talented. Fill in, Spud, because I'm looking for my paperwork.
I just like to create. You know,
Here we go.
Anything with creation, I'm all for it. Expression, creation. We dabble in anything possible. That's my whole mission. But we also try to intertwine it with not forgetting where we started from, and I think that's a big issue in most communities. Most people move on and don't remember.
So that's a big thing with everything that you're.
Yes.
Your big thing is giving back, and not forgetting that the people that you left need help as well.
Yes, I call it the I quit smoking syndrome.
Really?
You ever been around someone who quit smoking and then you smoke around them and I can't stand it. Get away from me. You just was smoking 2 months ago. Don't forget where you were. And that's how I try to do everything. I don't forget where I was. So I see someone doing something wrong. Not that I matured or I developed. I know where they're at. So then I have an edge.
So it's an understanding.
Yes,
basically.
you have an edge. Most people forget that edge and like these little I can't deal with them, and they brush them off, and that's what continues to happen throughout the generations.
Okay, all right. So let's go to what your name means. Some people understand differently.
Yes, that I got that name actually. It's a long story. I'm gonna kind of cut it short.
All right.
It was during a prison riot.
What?
Yes, it was in a prison riot in 1997, and when there's a riot happening, everyone knows that when the riot gear come in, whoever's not participating in the riot, you get hit first. Because they make it's weird.
They make an example
out of you.
Okay.
So then everyone sees that and everyone stops. So we know the riot's gonna happen, and I'm looking around the whole jail, and I'm like, I don't have a problem with no one. Who am I gonna attack? So I look at the new officer, and I'm gonna hurt him. And during the riot took place, I just stood up and I didn't do anything. And a brother named Keith Carney came to me. He was like, "It was fun. You know, like you could have been the first one to get beat up. Like, why you ain't partaking?" I was like, "Yo, I'm just tired of it." And he was the first person that was like, "Damn, son, some people understand differently." And I was like, "What you talking about?" He was like, "Your name's Spud. Like, I don't get it. Like, some people just understand differently." And from that moment, it just stuck with me. Like, some people understand differently. Like, I could jack that, and I just kept going on from that point on.
Wow, look at that. You see, I mean, it can come from anywhere, and it came from when he was locked up. Wow. You see? So now I'm sure after that, your whole perspective changed, and that's what made you want to come back and do something different.
Yeah, once I got released, it was easy for me to say, like, I was in the service or I was away. I could have actually came home and got a fresh start. I was young when I went in, and when I got out, a lot of the younger brothers that are now around don't really know of me. And then a lot of the older brothers know my older brothers, and they know of me as a kid. So it would have been easy for me to fade into the black and just get a gig and just come up with a whole new story. But to me, the whole path of my journey, I would have forfeit the true story if I would have did that. Like the gain that I could get out of the first thing I did was music. Like, music saved my life.
Okay.
While I was incarcerated, music was the only thing that never changed.
Right.
I spent a lot of time in solitary confinement.
Wow.
And in solitary confinement, you don't speak to anyone. So I would start my day from the beginning. I woke up reciting songs, any genre, just reciting songs. I needed to hear something.
Yes.
So music was the only thing that I actually had that was consistent. I mean, there was times I couldn't reach family members. There was times I didn't get mail. There was times I couldn't get a visit. But I always had music. So when I got home, that was the first thing that I said I was going to give my energy to, was continuing music. And I went in solely just as an artist.
Right.
I came up with 2 projects. We was doing some shows. We were shopping deals. We had a lot of fun. But it got to a point where I was like, I want more.
You want more.
I want more. Like, this wasn't just it. Like, I was happy with it. And, you know, I just wanted to merge. And sometimes uncontrollable circumstances guide you in where you need.
Where you need to go.
Me and my management at the time, we started to see different. I started to do like songwriting, and I started to dabble into a lot of different things. I was doing public speaking for Rutgers University.
Wow.
And me and a CO who I actually had a conflict with in the first facility I was in, he became a professor. We started going on tour together where he would speak as a CO and I would speak as a prisoner. Awesome. He would speak as a white experience, I'll speak as the black experience. Right. He would speak as the rural, I'll speak as the urban.
How did you guys, that's beautiful. How did you guys decide, or how did you get together after the fact? Because you said it was your first facility, so you've been to other facilities after that. So how did you reconnect with him?
When I left, the place was called McCormick Center, which I now teach in.
Oh, wow.
We could get into that too.
Awesome. Yes.
When I left McCormick, I was really big on communicating, so I would always write letters back to the guys. And he actually wrote a letter for parole for me.
Okay.
Stating that he felt in his heart that if I had the opportunity to get out, that I would be different.
Okay.
I never forgot that.
Right.
So when I got released, I actually sent a thank you to everyone who ever wrote something for me or spoke highly on my behalf. And that's when he asked me, hey, come to speak in Binghamton. And he became a professor, and I went to his class to speak. And you know, I go raw. Like, if you don't want to hear it, clog your ears.
Exactly.
I'm an open book.
Right.
I embrace my journey. I tell people I wear it like a soldier wears his medals.
Yes.
Not to brag about all the people he killed, but I made it through.
You made it, right.
You know,
right.
So, and when I did the presentation at Binghamton, that's when he was saying, you know, a lot of the colleges want you. Why don't we go on a tour? And I mean,
wow.
I went to Puerto Rico. we went all over.
That's awesome.
Just speaking. But even that wasn't enough because I was speaking to lawyers, judges,
so these
professionals.
People really didn't need to hear that type of inspiration.
Yes, they were just using it like encouragement or reinforcement to where they want to go in their life. But I still wasn't tapping into where
that.
So I started, once me and my manager parted ways, I put together all the money I had and got some sheetrock and bought some equipment and opened up a studio. And I was like, you know, my love for music.
You built a studio from ground up.
It was a flat basement. Shout out to David Hall, me and my man David Hall. We connect. I told him my plan. We went together to Home Depot. We got the sheetrock and we just put it up. We did a lot of things wrong, but we made it work.
Right.
And the kids were just loving.
What was the studio for then?
The studio was really, like, I love music. I'm always going to do music. So I needed my base. When I was working with my manager, we were bouncing around to places, and it's hard to get comfortable. So I said, you know, I want to create a place where I would come and take my shoes off and be like, yo, I could rock out here.
Okay.
I needed that. And, you know, the idea of making money from it was there as well. But I still was dabbling in the art world. I was working for an art company in London called Headley's Inc. So I was doing both, but that was just like my outlet. Like, I never wanted to lose that connection to music.
Right.
But the kids were coming in. It was flooding my sessions, and kids were coming, but they couldn't afford.
Now, how did the kids get to your studio?
A lot of people.
Did you have a program?
Initially, I didn't have the program. This is what actually promoted me or motivated me to have the program was when on Saturday I used to have the Bloods. Sunday I would have the Crips. I didn't know that the records they were recording were about each other. So I'm really.
How did you not know that? If you knew,
because you know everyone talks about I'm on the block, I'm gonna do this to so and so.
Oh, they were talking in code. And
but then when they started saying names, and I'm like, oh, old boy records tomorrow. So when old boy comes, I'm listening to his records, and I'm like, it's correlating. Like he will say something happened on this block, and he'd be like, yeah, what happened on this block? We gonna do this, and I'm like, oh. They telling factual records. Like,
and
they going back to
studio for that. How
nice. As well as the music, and from that point on, that's when the nonprofit
came into play.
Yeah, that's when I was like, you know, I could actually curate an actual program, something that's geared to it, and have multiple different aspects of it,
right?
And you know, submit it into the public schools, the prisons, aftercare,
and save the children, save the kids, especially the young men. We are definitely going to get into that. We're going to take a little break to play some of you.
I was a big advocate of getting Spud on the show.
Yes.
And you know Spud.
Yes, I know.
The first thing I told you was like, my man got a story to tell.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's big
and
with
I
the
thank
kid.
you so much.
Oh yeah, he's a great person, and I stamped that. You know what I'm saying?
Much love.
And I don't stamp a lot,
no.
but I stamp my man. He's all that and a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips.
Bon word. Well, you know, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to mention the importance.
That's why I want to make sure that you guys were here together, because if it wasn't for him, I would, you know.
Yeah, I was pushing.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember when you first
Spud
told me.
been here before.
Yeah.
But not on my show. All right.
We're glad to have you, Spud. We need more caliber artists like Spud. Not only in Bushwick Radio, but just in the whole media.
Absolutely.
Much
Absolutely.
love.
These are the type of men that we need out here
Yeah.
to really show a real example and let these people know it's not a game.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's not
Real
cute.
life.
So we're gonna get right back into the interview. Tell me that story again that you was talking about in terms of with the television while you were locked up.
So you know, I share with the guys. You know, there's some kids who look at prison and they like combating, and pushing it. And social media. The thing with social media is we all became desensitized to a lot of things. Now everyone just wants to see. You know,
instead of help.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, like if you look at it now, someone could be fighting, getting chopped in their head. There'll be like 9 phones, and someone screaming. I saw a video of someone holding up a phone, recording, saying, "Call the cops."
Right.
Call the cops. Like, homie, you got the phone up.
Exactly.
But that's what happens.
And you know what? We can have a very long conversation about this, but unfortunately, my show is only but so long. So please let everybody know how they can get involved, whether it be a volunteer or whether it be they have kids that need help. How can they get involved with your organization?
You could reach out directly at Spud Brooklyn. Everything, my social media, my website, everything is Spud Brooklyn. As far as the nonprofit, it's Spud Inc. SPUD Inc. Or you could look up. Some people understand differently if you Google it. But if you follow Spud Brooklyn or follow or
the link
contact
is in your
me through
profile.
that, yes, everything is in the profile.
Okay,
you'll be able to merge and find contact, but reach out to that. But my biggest thing to the parents and people in general is not only be quick to give advice, but listen. Like these kids will tell you everything.
Right.
They'll show you everything. Like there's no privacy anymore. But we just have to take the time to listen. And being that we've been in their shoes or been their age, we have an edge. We can't forget that.
Right.
We have the edge.
Right.
No matter how distant, how far.
And I
they
think
go.
we need to remember that we are parents and not friends.
Yes.
And one thing I need to stress: stop calling your kids the N-word. Your boys, young men, stop doing that. I was walking down the street and I heard this girl. I'm gonna call her girl. She was a young mother. But no, she probably looked in her young 30s. Calling her son no older than 8. I kid you not.
Wow.
The N-word. What are you preparing him for?
Yes.
What are you setting him up for? Start when you're his mother and this is how you're talking to him.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? I remember a while ago, and I used to smoke cigarettes, and I know exactly what you mean. I started smoking at 15 years old, right? Okay. And I remember my mother caught me, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm in trouble. Oh, I heard her whisper. You know, she's walking away. She doesn't know I'm paying attention or whatever. I heard her whisper the B word. I wanted to cry. Because my mother never called me anything derogatory ever in my life. Right. So for my mom to just whisper it, she didn't scream it, she didn't, repeat it to anybody. For her to just whisper it, you can always come back and give back. I that's what we do. But you need to get out first and get that gutter, get that mind out of the gutter. Stop thinking that hood rich is cool and stuff like that. Our kids are dying.
Yes,
our kids are dying, and we need to save them. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're gonna continue this online. We, like I said, we will merge again. You need to see my mentees, and please, guys, reach out to Spud Brooklyn. He has a great thing going on. Phenomenal organization, Spud Brooklyn. We are going to end with my Soul Sunday Song of the Week. It's More Juice by Napoleon the Legend. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, djpoprek. Thank you, Spud. Thank you, Sincere. Prime Time, Brave Dave. Yeah. Don't go anywhere because we have Never Say Never next. And I will see you guys soon. It's the Carmen B, a.k.a. Bad Girl of New York on the Carmen B Show. Bushwick Radio, baby.
It's your boy, Spud Brooklyn. Make sure you download that Bushwick Radio app. Tune in. Never Say Never Radio. Get it!